Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Take a look at the ceiling, Rabbi Isai. It's brand new. It's unbelievable. I don't know if Gary is able to. Are you able to focus on it? No, not yet.
What happened today with the Daf?
So, Rabbi, it was just a few years ago. What's that?
You can't see it.
Never. You have to when you come in. We reached a certain milestone just a few years ago. They shut us down from YouTube. Remember the whole story? Eli Stefansky, Hillel, and Avi's brother, he came. He said, wait a minute, you guys are recording this. You might as well put it on YouTube. What's YouTube? It's live. He told us about it. We started getting Dave the Surfer and this one from all over the world. And suddenly they shut us down. He said, you need 1,000 subscribers. 1,000. How are you going to get to 1,000 subscribers? So people went out to the street. We started getting people. Could you please sign up so that we could get 1,000? So that we could.
We had to have fake accounts. We got in trouble.
Do fake accounts? I don't remember that.
There were fake subscriptions.
Really? I'm not aware of that. Really not. So anyway, I myself stood in Jewel in Chicago. My wife was super embarrassed. I remember this. And I would just ask random Yidden that walked in there to buy. I said, could you subscribe? Could you subscribe? And finally that day, we got to 1,000. That was a tremendous thing. Rabbi said yesterday, we reached 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. 30,000. Now, I'm not a big YouTube, I don't push YouTube. There's other from platforms, Kol Hashon, Torah Anytime, all Daf. It's probably all Daf. I think we're the. Which one? Bat Torah. Idabrut. WhatsApp. Spotify. What else?
24/6.
24/6 is big now. MDY app. The list goes on. But to have 30,000 subscribers, over 500 a month subscribers, unbelievable. Rabbi Isai, this is at Jackson, just a few hours ago. Jackson, it's beautiful. A nice oilam over there. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Shmuel Goldschmidt.
Shmuel Goldschmidt from?
South Africa.
South Africa?
South Africa, yeah.
You know each other?
I know his father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sischos.
Thank you.
Check this out. We have this is Yaakov Fleschel sent an email. We have 22 people signed up to learn Horius in Atlanta. In Atlanta. 22 people. I want to tell you again, it's a big simcha for us that I didn't emphasize it enough, a tremendous simcha to come out with a Gemara, with a translation, with a Pirush, and it's a good Pirush, it's a Geshmak Pirush with our own Gemara. It's our own. Do whatever you want with it. Put on the cover this way, that way. You can put it on backwards if you want. We have a QR code on the bottom that you can get to the art very quickly, get to the shear quickly. There's everything. One of the issues, not issues, but those who know, the Hebrew art scroll, the difference between the Hebrew art scroll and the English art scroll is a huge difference. The Hebrew art scroll has most of the pshat on the top. The English translates the literal words into English, but pshat, if you want to know how this is a raya and why it's a kasha, you have to go sometimes to the bottom. Sometimes, very rarely, it's on top. Most of the time, it's on the bottom. Over here, it flows in one thing. Big Kitzer, and we're the only Gemara Horius that has this Oiz V'Hadar Menukad in it. It's a Menukad. It has Nekudas, which is very geschmack to learn from. So, over 250 people signed up to learn Horius so far, and we're looking for a lot more. It's a great. Hashi
already got it.
Bought one?
Yep.
Because it's here in Eretz Yisrael. So where is it? You have it here? Chaval. I wanted to show the oilam. I never saw what it looked like. It's printed here in Israel. Yeah, 250 people. That's pretty good. Because Nisan Algan says that there's a lot of people out there that never made a siyum in their life, and he thinks that there would be a lot of people that would be interested in making their first siyum of doing 13 daf. Make a siyum. It's a great. Father Rav Eli, you're thinking of me today meant a lot to me. More so, b'schut yashir, I've reached levels of learning I've never thought I would do in my lifetime, and I certainly haven't fallen off the bandwagon. But what's most amazing is how you simply love every Jew. Looking forward to seeing you at the shir. Bivracha Baruch Berger. He's still on. Don't worry about it. Rabbi, I had a video here that I was going to show, but Kobe, our editor, went through my slides this morning. He writes to me that if I show this, then we'll get knocked off some of the Jewish sites because this is a woman. But it's a great video of somebody that put a hidden camera behind flowers there, and this is his cleaning lady drinking his wine during the day. And there's a few pushkas up there, so she helps herself to the money as well while she's out there. Serious. This is a real video. You can check it out. It's on CBN. Video, I saw the whole thing. It's crazy. And she drinks from 2 bottles. She takes one, and mom, it's disgusting, from her mouth directly, and then she puts it back, and then she takes another bottle. So if you have a cleaning lady, it's been a minute since I last dropped a line to the shir. I gotta say, welcome back from your travels. The shir is just mamish on fire when you're home. I know, it's shvach when I'm away. I feel shvach. But don't get me wrong, you kept us totally hooked with all the action during the Ben Zman and break. Since you come back, Rebbe, you've taken the entertainment and drama to a whole new level. The excitement and suspense is like a shir straight out of a reality TV show, keeping us all on the edge of our seats for the next episode. As someone who ditched movies and TV shows a while back to make time for Torah learning, I'm loving how you're bringing that kind of energy to Torah. And those AI videos, they're a total game changer, bringing the Gemara to life in a way, revolutionizing how we learn a sugya. Now, let me get to my main point for writing in. As we're finishing Avodah Zarah and heading into those brisk Masechtas, then I was thinking about Mendy. That's why I'm reading this. I'm thinking it's a perfect opportunity to market MDY to that chevra. You know, like that nursing home administrator learned Altzbacher by Rebbe from Yeshua, and now feels that the Pasha doesn't have time to tackle him Sechta like Baba Kama Kedushin Yivam since he left. Now's the time to bring him into your amazing MDY family. We can show him and others that Torah is for everyone, and every sugi is inclusive with MDY, and anyone can learn a blot a day and finish shots if they put in the effort. Maybe we can even get Rebbe from Yeshua to make a recruitment video for MDY to get the whole chevra on board with this movement. Yeah.
Sure thing.
First Mashiach will come, and then. P.S. Lately, I have dozens of you coming up to me saying, "You're Eli Geller from Niwa, you're famous." So here's the whole new meaning to rebel. Imam changed my life by also making me famous for every time. Eli Geller from Lakewood, New Jersey. Yishmak. Okay, it's true. Zvachim could really attract people who never learned kachim before, and many ex-yeshiva guys never opened up a kachim. They don't know what kachim is. They're scared of it. Here's the opportunity to start kachim. Not so much the brisker, the mirror guy. The guy who went to the mirror and never learned kachim.
Brisker guys aren't enjoying it because they're making it accessible for the regular.
It's not, you get the elitist here. No, you never know. You never know. There's always those closet ones. It's crazy. Adam Peters, dear Rebelli, I told Aaron Hirsch I would email you. I'm visiting Lakewood from Ottawa, and I attended the satellite chair in Jackson last night. This is Givaldic. You know why? Because it gives an opportunity for somebody that comes from another city. Let's say you go to Park City to ski. At Luyitzur, there's a satellite location there. You have a place to go at night and watch the shear. You look it up. That's what's so geschmack about these locations. This guy comes in from Ottawa, and he's in Jackson, and he goes to the Lakewood Jackson place. Tell Aaron that if I could come 500 miles to attend the shear in Jackson, then he can drive 20 minutes. He was there. No, Aaron is there. Yeah, I know he's there. I asked him to go there, and I told him to be mechazik, but the chizik is for everybody in Lakewood. Everybody in Lakewood should go there. Be mechazik until you have a solid 10, then slowly leave over there. Whatever. Kol tov, I had him. Givaldic. What? Lutz. Yeah, I don't know what happened over there. I don't know. Hillel, what's going on, Hillel? Everything saying? It's okay. It's smoking well. It's smoking well. You're thinking about the meat, aren't you? He's thinking about the meat. I saw his head is. You saw that? He's mamish. Did I turn it over or not? He's like he knows I'm right. Masechtas sponsors David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avri Meiri. I got to tell you seriously. This morning. You know when you wake up and you have that thought, the moment you wake up, the moment I woke up, I said, this is the next Ami article, which I have to thank Ari Brulum, who's doing a gewaldige job helping me write this. I said, I got to write about this guy. Guy calls up that he wants, nobody went to him, he's not even part of MDY, he says, I want to sponsor a huge sponsorship, maybe one of the largest sponsors of the year. And I told him, first you got to do the share. And he fell for it. He says, okay, I'll do the shear. Okay, I'll do the shear. And then he does the shear, and this is how many months are we doing his sponsorship already? 3-4 months. I don't even know. And he says he hasn't missed a single day. And he just decided on his own. He's going to bring 10 people. He's going to spend $2,000 to bring 10 people. Then he opens up a WhatsApp group yesterday. And then he tells me, I'm going to do this every month. I'm going to get 10 a month. Like, I think it's a good Maisa. Dedicated in memory of Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zichron Levracha. Anonymous. Hatzlach Baruch is V'gash V'zuchus Achenu B'nei Yisrael. Anonymous. May our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius, Leland Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. Monthly sponsors TCS Israel Power. We're talking Save Anonymous for Shlema Sarah Bat Maturam and Shira Bat Sarah. Weekly sponsors Dr. Avram Epstein and his wife Rivka. For Shlema for Shoshana Bas Rezel. Anonymous. The whole Klal Yisrael should have a good Gebench Yor. Daily sponsors. Ari Miller, in honor of the yahrzeit of my father, Jerry Miller, Zusia ben Kalman Yaakov. The Jacob family, in honor of David and Tzvi Jacob, Toronto, for doing the daf all summer long. Keep steiging. Amen. Aaron Noach and Duvi Fried, Lili Nishmas, our mother, grandmother, whose 38th yahrzeit is today, Chaylea Bas Reb David Olea Shalom. Daily sponsors, Connovations LLC. A huge thank you to the AMT Consortium guys for the birthday sponsorship. You made Kalman Yisrael very happy. Rabbi said, oh, Kalman from the Five Towns is back. Never left. He's been a little quiet though. Sarah yahrzeit of my beloved daughter. May your memory be a blessing. How many years is it? 2? Yosef, how many years is that? More than 2 years? Really? Seems like yesterday. Anonymous. For the refuah of our 3-year-old son going into open heart surgery today, Rafal Mordechai Yitzchok ben Rochel. Amen. Yecheskel Isengard. Baruch Batzloch to everybody learning Daf Yomi. Siegel family in honor of the bris of Avraham Menashe Platnik. Mazel Tov. Oh, that's the baby, I think. Platnik. The guy that came to the Shabbaton. And 3 days after the Shabbaton, he found out after 13 years not having a kid. Anyway, Art. Refuah Shleimo, Yonatan Eitan ben Beshav Bracha. Refuah Shleimo, Mordechai ben Esther. Refuah Sayelet, Daniel Zeh ben Ayelet Esther. Rabbi Isai, brand new Mishnah, Daf Ayin Amud Beis on the bottom. We have an amazing sugya today. Shmaka stuff, one after another. Boilesha Shenichnas Aliyir. A bunch of soldiers come to the city. B'shah Shalom, Chaviyos Psuchos, Asuros. When there's peace, then all the barrels of wine are asur. Why? Because they're busy drinking and doing yain esach. They have time for yain esach. Stumos, mutaris. But if the barrels are closed, then it's mutter. It's a sign that nobody touched it. If you have a worker and you left him for a while, so you might have opened it, closed it. Okay, but a soldier couldn't care less. If he decides to open your barrel of wine, he'll open it. He's not going to close it and patchka around with a seal and fake it. But during wartime, whether the barrels are open or closed, it's mutter. Why? A soldier is way too busy, worried about his life. He's fighting. He doesn't have time for Avodah Zarah. Shas Mulchama. Here they are touching the barrels of wine right over here. But they're busy, they're running. Here's Shas Shalom. Okay. Weiter. Verimini, asked the Gemara, Irshikov Shu Karkoim. Daf Ayin Aleph Amud Aleph. Top 70 daf into Avodah Zarah. A city that was conquered by the soldiers. Terrible, terrible thing. Any woman married to a kohen, we have to be concerned that they were violated, and they automatically become also to their husbands. The Gemara in Ksuba says that if they have a way out, if they have some sort of answer, like if there was a hiding place, they could say they were in the hiding place. If there's another door out, fine. But the question is, how did the soldiers, you said that they're too busy fighting in the war, they don't have time to do Avodah Zarah. So how did they have time for this, to ask for them? Or Omar Rav Mari, L'naseich ein pnai. They don't have time for the Avodah Zarah. Livol yesh pnai. Gemara says something very simple. When I speak to a lot of people about the daf, yeah? Even I like to embarrass my wife on the highway when there's traffic, I'll roll down my window. Do you do the daf? Random people. Number one excuse, I don't have time. That's the number one excuse. Something that's enjoyable, you have time for. Anything that's important, you have time for. If you need to do something, you'll find time for it. That's the aside. If I force you to do it, it's a religious thing, it's an Avodah Zarah thing, I don't have time for it. It's geschmack, the AI and the this and that. Geschmack. There's time for it. There's always time. What? Nobody has time for YouTube and the shorts and that kind of stuff. Talk to Eli Mishnah. A Jew works for the non-Jew, and he has to get paid $1,000 a month. The guy, instead of paying him the $1,000, sends him a truckload of wine. Yain nesach wine. What's he to do? I refuse to receive this wine. Take it back, and instead pay me cash. Now he's not selling him the wine back. He's telling him, don't pay me in wine, pay me in cash. I never received it. I didn't tell you that I'm going to work for wine. I told you I'm going to work for $1,000. You decided to pay me with wine. I'm not taking the wine. It was never mine. But once he received it, it's too late. Now he can't give it back, because if he gives it back to the guy, now he's like selling it. He's trading it for cash. Also, simple Mishnah. You could tell the guy, do me a favor, you're going to pay your taxes. Rashi says, in those days you'd pay, let's say 10% of your animals you'd give to the king, 10% of your produce you'd give to the king. So you tell the guy, you're going there anyways, do me a favor, pay for me. Is the guy your shliach? No. It's not instead of you. Do me a favor, take care of it.
I'll pay after to you.
Yeah. Now, if the guy decides to pay with wine, which is yain nesach, that's his thing. I didn't tell him how to pay and where to pay. Just because it's Erev Harius, so I'll say this ma'isa, even though it's a known story, but it's negat to Harius. I think it's a good shtach for a lot of people, and I like to do that sometimes. A king, he had a birthday party. So he decided, everybody should come here and bring a bottle of wine, and we'll be mishtatev in the bottle of wine. You come, you pour your bottle of wine into the barrel, and you go weiter. So everybody comes in, they pour the bottle of wine, you keep on moving. And as the party started, it said, King, we want to honor you with having the first cup of wine from this unbelievable barrel. So he takes his cup in front of everybody, opens up the faucet, and out comes a bunch of water. What happened? Every klutz over there thought to himself, everybody's going to bring wine. I'll bring water. What's the big deal? It's like, I don't have to vote. Everybody else is voting. What's the difference? So, at the end of the day, everybody made the same calculation, and everybody brought a bottle of water. They tried to fool the king. It's a big bizayin. What does that have to do with Harius? Everybody thinks, you know what? Peretz Chaim Levin will get the guys to come to Harius. Why do I have to do it? No. We all have a chiyuv to do it. We all have a chiyuv to go get 2 people. 2 people! Reb Nachman! 2 people! What happens when we get 2 people and they get 2 people? What happens? 400,000. It's not Panovich math. It's Baruch there. It's Baruch there. First of all, I want to say a tremendous Shalom Aleichem too. What's your name?
Mordechai Ilus.
Ilus from?
Amud Beis in Brooklyn.
Ooh.
What base in Brooklyn? Mill Base in Brooklyn. Could you give us a real Brooklyn? You know, I was from Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn a long time. No, give us a shtickle. How do they talk? 1 minute is.
There's a group in Mill Basin.
Mamdani.
What did he say? Oh, don't vote Mamdani. Say it again, Nachamal. Say it again.
Don't vote Mamdani.
Don't vote Mamdani. There you go. I love it. I love it. Throw him in the gutter. It's a piece of garbage, that guy. Mom is a piece of garbage. Is that where Moshe Peluchik is a Rav? No. Okay. We have a group in Mill Basin? We have a group. Do you know about our group in Mill Basin?
No.
Well, now you do. You got to come all the way to Rav Shemesh. Get involved with that group, my friend. Get involved. Shalom, I saw a father with a son here. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? From?
Yossi Lieberman share.
Oh, Yossi Lieberman. He was here in the shir at least twice. Which one do you go to? He gives 2 shir, Rav Yossi Lieberman. He's the one I haven't seen a song in a while. No, he comes up with a song. He does that. Yeah, he's all the way at Chaniche before the beginning of Shas. He's been here like 6 years ago. Yeah, he was here also. Yeah. And who's that? That's your son, Gasman. Shalom Aleichem. What's your first name? Menachem Gasman. Shalom Aleichem. Send him regards. Great guy. Okay, so. Meisvei. Don't tell, but this is also to tell the idol worshiper, be instead of me, be my shliach, be my agent for the king. That's not a question. You're right, if he's exactly instead of you, and everything he does is for you, so when he gives the yain nesach to the king for you, so he did it for you, so he's using yain nesach to pay your chayv. But what we're talking about something else. Could you save me from the king? Save, okay, you do whatever you want. I didn't tell you how and where. Okay. Yeah, but he's mamish instead. If you tell, it's like as if you tell him, use the yain nesach. That you could tell him, and that's awesome. Okay, so I want to show you this video. Tell me what the halacha is. Check this out. It's interesting because a guy came over to me after shir and he asked me the question after the whole shir. I'll tell you the question in a second, and I had to think for 10 seconds until I realized the answer. But okay, I think that's the answer. Here's the case. It's 3 shekel a liter. I'm asking you now, is this yain nesach? Did the Jew just sell him yain nesach? Hold on, Mendy. Check this out. And then he pulls out money. What happened there? The wine in that kli, and when the guy drank it, 100% yain nesach. Everybody agrees that that's yain nesach? The guy drank from it. It's yain nesach. Yeah. So after he drank it, he paid the Jew for yain nesach. Is that a problem?
Yes. It's not done at the same time.
It's not done at the same time. The non-Jew took from the Jew wine, made a yain nesach, and now the Jew is making profit off of yain nesach. Is it a problem or not a problem? Yes, it's a problem. Why is this not a problem?
Why can he sell to the goy?
Why not? It's kosher wine. It's his kosher wine. But when the guy drinks it, it becomes yain nesach. No, there's no say and that kind of stuff. But here, this is why Rabbi said this is why it's mutter, because there's a sign that says 3 shekel a liter. Otherwise, it'd be a problem to serve wine at a wedding to a non-Jew, whatever it is, at a Jewish bar, at a Jewish store, whatever it is. The reason is if you make up the price beforehand, so it's as if the guy paid before and then he made the yain nesach after. If you make up the price after, it's problematic. That's yain nesach. Okay, so says the Mishnah, if you sell wine to a non-Jew, if you made up the price, it says 3 shekel a liter, halavai, dam of mutarim, then you're allowed to accept money for the wine because it's as if you sold it to him beforehand. He drank it and made a yain nesach, he touched it, he moved it, whatever he did, it's yain nesach, but it's after the sale. Dam mutarim, so I'm allowed to receive money for that. But if there was no amount spoken about, and we didn't know how much it cost. And the guy is the one that's measuring the wine. He's pouring the wine from the wholesale barrel into his own little vat or whatever it is. So he just moved the wine. That he made a yayin nesach, dama basurim. So then afterwards he goes in and pays for something that was the price was unknown. That money is also. So now we have a machlokes. Rabbi said that's today's sugya. Basically, we're going to go back and forth with this machlokes.
The kinyan comes while he's making the nesa.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. Omar Ameimar, very good. That's exactly the sugya. Omar Ameimar, Meshicha ba'avid kechavim koina. Oh, here's the machlokes. Meshicha does work for a guy or doesn't work for a guy. Now, if it works for a guy, if a guy buys from a Jew, so it works in both directions. No. Teida, I'll prove it to you. The hani parsoi mishadri pardoshne lahadadi v'lehadribu. These Iranians, they when they give a gift, it's. I think he's some sort of. I couldn't figure it out. He's some sort of agent because something's under his hat.
Keep it.
He exposed him. He exposed him that he's an agent? That's what it is? Okay, we have to ask. It's a shayla. It's a shayla on the AI. What? So, you see from here, why is it if a Persian gives a gift, he can't take it back? Because the receiver acquired it with kinyan Mashiach. So you see the Mashiach works by a guy. So, just to, because I would like to remember this for the rest of the sugya. Ameimer says a guy acquires b'mashicha. Rav Ashi says a guy does not acquire b'mashicha. And then we're going to have a question on Ameimer, a question on Rav Ashi. Yishmak is sugya. So, Rav Ashi says no. Now you have a problem from these Persians. The reason why when an Iranian gives a gift, he can't take it back. It's unbelievable that till I think this very day, I think the biggest problem with Iran is that they have this respect, this thing of respect. We didn't lose, we're winning, we're the strongest. No matter what you do to them, they have a lot of pride. A lot of stolz. Unnecessary stolz that hurts them, stolz that hurts. This Balgaiba who gives a gift, nah, I don't want it back. Don't give it back. I'm too chashiv to get it back. Okay, so it's not a raya that Mashiach works. Okay. Or Rav Ashi. Says Rav Ashi, Muna Amin Allah. So I don't know if this is going to help. I think maybe if we do the sugya in like a minute, just go over it real quickly, because there are a lot of steps, and they're easy. Each step is, a minute. Thing number one, I'm just throwing it out. I don't even know if it's in order or not order. It's in order, but you know what I'm saying? There might be other points here. If Mashiach works, so then why do we say you need to use money? Why does Rav say, Rav insists, he's going to bring a thing. No, you have to use money. Make sure there's money. If there's no money, lend him money. You have to have money. Mashiach works. Anyways, the Gemara says that no, what happened was, he poured it into the kli of the guy. So the Gemara asks a beautiful question. If he poured into the kli of the guy, the Gemara says that as it's pouring in, just in the ear space, he should have a kinyan. I understand that nobody understands what I'm talking about. I'm just throwing this out so it kind of comes together when we read it. It's not a whole bunch of... The ear space in the kli should make a kinyan before it touches the kli. So the Gemara says, you're right, the kli is on the ground. The only way that the kli could be kind in the ear is if you're holding it and there's a kinyan akbar, Rashi says. So the Gemara says, then the Gemara goes into the whole thing, not a whole thing, a couple lines only, whether the kli of the person purchasing makes a kinyan or not. He's a kli. So the Gemara says, no, it's in the place of the seller, so it doesn't work. It doesn't work. At the end of the day, the Gemara says, you know why? Every kli, if the guy brings a kli to the store, it's a used kli, he didn't wash it out. It has a little drop of wine on the top. That little drop of wine is yayin nesach. And as you pour your wine into the kli, it touches that little drop and creates the whole thing becomes wine, yayin nesach. The Gemara says, but wait a minute. Why should the whole thing become yain nesach? Only a little piece should become yain nesach. Just like if you have a bunch of barrels, one barrel becomes yain nesach. You know, one barrel is yain nesach. It doesn't make all the barrels yain nesach. So what's the obvious answer to that? It's mixed in. So and that's the end of the sugi. Okay. So now let's see inside. That's the whole Amud Beis basically. I don't know if that helped, but just that you're not scared when we get to this. It's piece after piece. Every 2 lines is another thing here. It's not confusing. It's just a lot. Says the Gemara, Omer Vashi. We're holding like 8 lines from the bottom. How do I know? So let's go back to this thing. Rav Ashi says that a guy does not acquire b'mashicha. How do I know that a guy doesn't acquire b'mashicha? Rav instructed those wine sellers with an S, not a C. When you measure out the wine, when the purchaser comes to buy the wine and he's an idol worshiper, oh, here's the raya. Why does the Rav insist on money? You know why? Because Mashiach doesn't work. Make sure they give you money beforehand. Otherwise, we'll have a problem of selling yain nesach. Our Mishnah, basically. If they came without money, then the eitzah is oisfunu. You should lend them money, and they'll use that money to purchase the wine, and then they'll pay you back for that money. But they need to give you money beforehand. Otherwise, we have a yain nesach problem. And then take the money. So that this money should be halva. Because if you don't do this, you have it. What the problem is that they're going to create a yain nesach when it's still in the Jews' rishos. So then, when you took money, you took money for yain nesach. You need to make sure that you sell to them beforehand, that the yain nesach becomes yain nesach in the non-Jews' rishos. Now, here's his raya. But what's the problem? Once the guy pulls it, so why do you need money here? Mashiach works, and it should become the guys beforehand. And the yain nesach is a step after he made the Mashiach. Sort of what Noam was asking before. He was kind of b'Mashiach, and then afterwards was the yain nesach. What's the answer to this, Rabbi Isai? Who says that it's his kli? Who says that the guy is holding a kli b'chlal? Says the Gemara, who says, I don't know what the story is, the Gemara says. Dafayin Aleph Amud Beis on top, yeah? You're right. If it's the kli of the Jew, here we go. You see over here we have the kli of the Jew. Here's his face is in the kli, just to show that it says. If it's the Jew's kli, you're right. But check this out. If the guy is using his own kli, look at the bottom over there. There's always residue of wine. So as soon as he pour it in, it becomes yain nesach. And now you're selling him yain nesach. And that's the problem. Oh. Sponsors.
If you want.
Hold on.
Why is that Hagbah?
Hold on, we're doing your sponsorship.
We're getting to Hagbah in a second.
Hold on.
We're doing your sponsorship. What do you want to do? Question or your sponsorship? Your choice. Your choice.
I'm a specialist.
Adar Global Specialist in International Financial Services. There's a lot of you're a specialist in a lot of stuff. Anonymous. What's it called? What he does with the words? He plays the words.
He's a wordsmith.
He's a he's a pun specialist, pun master.
Jack of all trades, a master of none.
Anonymous. Anonymous. In gratitude to Rebelli and MDY for promoting Achdus Yisrael, Vavos Yisrael, Yishkoich, whoever you are. Ask the Gemara. Soif, where are we? We're holding over here. Here, check this out. You pour the wine in, so it becomes yain nesach right away. Why? Because the little wine on the bottom. Soif, no. Kimat lavira demana kanya. I'm asking you a question. I already said the answer, but what would you say logically? If there's a concept that when the guy holds the vessel and you pour the wine in, and the guy is kained in the ear. How would you explain that? How is the guy kaina in the ear? What else? How Agba? Explain.
If you're holding it, it's the same thing as picking it up. So you're holding it in place, that's Agba.
It's in the air. It's in the air. It's in the air.
It's in his kli.
But it didn't touch his kli. What? Right. So anyways, Rashi says Kinyan Agba. I didn't understand so well, but Baruch Hashem, the Rishonim try to explain it away. The Ritva says it's going to land eventually. So if it's going to land eventually, so it's as if it did. Fine.
Said before, if there's a sign about the price,
Yeah.
it's as if he gave the money already.
But what Kinyan?
give the
What
money,
Kinyan?
right?
What Kinyan?
Just like if there's a sign
It's
about
as
the
if there's
money,
Agba, but there wasn't.
it's as if it landed in his.
Why can't you just say Kinyan Chatzar?
Same idea.
Actually, the Torah
But there's another kid.
You know, Rashi says Agba. I want to explain
that's
Rashi.
not a
So
problem.
Torah Chaim tries to explain Rashi away that it is. He does mean Kinyan Chatzar. Fine.
As soon as he is with intention to give it to sell it to him,
Yeah.
as if needs his job.
No. In the Gemara, you have to make a physical acquirement. You have to make a kinyan. You have to take action. It's not. Nothing goes in the head. Just because you want to do something, it doesn't make it yours. Okay. So, right. Unless it's kavanas for tefillah. So if kimot avir the mana kanye. Says the Gemara, but when it comes into the ear space of this kli shebikaina, yainesach lo have the motel arisa the mana. There's a millisecond before it hits the yainesach on the bottom that he acquired it by hagba. And then the question is, then why did Rav say that you need to give money beforehand? So the fact that Rav said that you have to give money beforehand, you see that Mashiach doesn't work. And then the Gemara pauses here for a second. It's like a pause / continuation of a question. Well, maybe Shmas Mina needs a chibur. You know why it works? Or Rav says you need to give money beforehand because of this. Check this out. No, this is Hagba. Hold on. Hagba works in the midair. Yeah, we're explaining what we just said. And then once it touches the wine, then it becomes aser. But there's a split second before, and the question is, why does Rav say you have to give money? Here, it should be kind of like this. The answer is because there's something called nitzig, which we already discussed, and this is beautiful. Check this out. Over here, you have kosher wine in green, and you have a little bit treif wine on the bottom, yain netzach on the bottom. Look what happens. When that green touches the red, it shoots backwards, it's all connected, and everything becomes yain netzach. So it turns out that he's selling yain netzach. The Jew's wine is no longer Jewish wine. It became yain netzach. The moment the stream touches the bottom of the kli, it shoots back, and the entire kli of the Jew becomes yain netzach wine through nitzok. And therefore, Rav says, pay first. Because if you don't pay first, I'm selling yain netzach. If you pay first, I'm not selling yain netzach. This is your wine. I'm just giving you your wine that you already acquired with money.
It's still going to make your kli yain netzach.
What?
It's still going to make your.
I don't care. Oh, yeah, that's not my problem. But no, I'm talking about.
Kli of yain netzach.
So what? I'll wash it out. But the money, the sug is could I? Right.
The problem is
He's right. You're right, and he's right. The sug is could I benefit from the money? Yes. I didn't sell yain netzach. I sold it, then it became yain netzach. You're asking a question. What are we going to do with this treif kli? So you'll go to the mikveh and you'll wash it out.
What if he paid in tashlumin?
That's only a Jewish concept.
Zok the Gemara. But the Gemara is like saying it as like what? So you're telling me that nitzuk is a chibur? We have the question of the Gemara whether nitzuk is a chibur or not. The only way to explain it is the nitzuk chibur. But here we had another. Every minute we're throwing in another concept here. It's unbelievable. Loi. You're right. If the guy is like this, holding on to the kli, everything you're saying is great. We're talking about that the kli is on the ground here, like this. There's no hagbah here. There's nothing. There's no kinyan. That's why what? That's why you need money. That's why Rav says you need money, because there's no kinyan over here. Okay. Ask the Gemara again. But this kli is on the ground. Let his kli be koinat. And then again, the question goes back. Why do I need money? Then okay, so you see from here, you see that it doesn't work that your kli does not acquire something if it's in the seller's rishos. The seller's store cancels out your whole kli. Perhaps no raya. Maybe the kli does work. Check this out. I love the it's so clear. Visual. There's drips of wine. There's a lot of drips over here. You don't need a lot. The point is that when I'm pouring wine in, it touches the yayin nesach. These little drips are the guy's drips from before. That's the guy's wine. When I fill up his container, immediately becomes yayin nesach before it reaches the ear space and all these other questions we had before. Becomes yayin nesach immediately. I put the kama, every drip of wine that you pour in, instantly becomes yayin nesach on the spot. Says the Gemara, ukeman like Reb Shimon Gamliel. This goes not like Reb Shimon Gamliel. It's something that we also had here. Reb Shimon Gamliel la'amar yimacher kule lo'ev digachavim chutz mit mei yayin nesach shabai. Check this out. I love this. This is a great graphic that Yoshi made here. Check this out. I was on a United flight. I think it was United. We discussed it last night. I think it was United. And during, everybody has their own shtick of how they show you how to put on the seatbelt, so it's not boring, so you watch it. So this particular one was like, could you find, like the guy put something, like something on the cup, and he went like, you go like this. They have it at, whatever. Shell game. You have to follow the cup. So follow the barrel. One of the barrels is yayin nesach. The rest are all kosher. And check this out. That gets all mixed up. Boom, 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 boom. Now what? What do you do now? So we had a machlokes. Either you can't do anything. It's yayin nesach. I don't know which one is yayin nesach, so throw it all out. Shimon Gamliel comes up with a big chiddush. How many barrels do you have here? 20 barrels? I don't know how many you have there. I didn't count. Sell it for 19. Sell 20 for the price of 19. In other words, you're not going to benefit from the yayin nesach, and that's it. You don't drink it. Don't drink it because you might be drinking yayin nesach. Sell it to a guy, and don't benefit from the yayin nesach. So perhaps you should say the same thing, and everybody's wondering here, what do you mean say the same thing? Say the same thing. You have a couple of drips of wine, and he just poured a bunch of kosher wine in. So take off whatever the drips of the wine are. How much it costs? Take off 5 cents. Oh, so says the Gemara. Let's just read these words again. Sell everything to the non-Jew, besides whatever that the yayin nesach is worth. So the Gemara, we're talking the whole thing that we're talking. This whole sugya is Rav says you have to give. The guy should pay beforehand, and if he doesn't have money, you should lend him money. He has to make a king before everything. There's a big problem yayin nesach if or not. The whole midu time el Rav. Rav, he himself, Rav says, you're right, in this case that we see on the screen, chavis b'chavis, when one barrel got mixed in with a bunch of barrels. Yayin b'yayin. One drip fell into 1,000 drips, that's it, it's all over. You can't say, just take off a little bit of the profit. Ivy, wake him up, please. Meisvei, I hear. If what is this? One of these. Yeah, we don't really need this, but it's here, so he sells them a bunch of silver, and inside the silver there's a little Avodah Zarah. Little getchka. Here, to make it a little easier, you buy a bunch of silver. The Reisha says, if you didn't give the money, you could give it back. The Sefer says, if you gave the money, throw it into the ocean. Yeah, I just put it here because later on it's Reisha Sefer Reisha. Let's get it clear. The Reisha is, he didn't give the money. So he didn't give the money. The Jew gives back the whole pile. Here, take all your silver back. Machlishkin toivus. I don't need the Avodah Zarah. But if he gave money, it's too late. It became his. Throw it into the ocean. As the Gemara, Isol Gedaitach. Did I say the Seifa? Now we're going back to who? Just don't forget this one. According to Meimar, guy is kind of a Mashiach. According to Rashi, no. According to Meimar that says that a guy is kind of a Mashiach, how could you say in the Reisha that he gives it back? He didn't give money, he could give it back, but he made a Mashiach. Look, it was in his hand. We saw in the thing, it was in his hand.
The Jew made a Mashiach, not the guy.
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah, you let him. We're talking about. Right, but if a guy makes Mashiach, a Jew makes Mashiach. If I'm, no, but no.
In the
If
kinyan of with the guy, kinyan Mashiach works in either direction.
it has to go in both directions. If it works by a guy, then it works by the Jew. If it doesn't work by the guy, it wouldn't work by the Jew. You can't do a kinyan. Oh, it works for me because I'm a Jew. I'm buying from you. It doesn't work by you. Some even take out the word mechzeh, including the English art scroll, not the Hebrew. In the Hebrew art scroll, it says nira kimekachtos. In the English, they took out the word completely. They completely ignore this word mechzeh because they're right. It shouldn't really be here, I think. The point is, it's a mekachtos. It's a mekachtos. I'll tell you the Maisa where I almost got thrown out of yeshiva. I never got thrown out of yeshiva, Baruch Hashem, but I almost. When the Mashgiach in our yeshiva got up, he said, the Chavetz Chaim says, listen to this Chavetz Chaim Rabbi Isai. There was a bacher who got engaged when he was 13. The Gevir of the town took him because he was known as the Eloi. At age 13, he made a Sima Shas. And after the Shidduch, they found out that he was actually 14 years old when he made the Sima Shas. And they had to break off the Shidduch. It was at Mekachtos, the Chavetz Chaim says. And he started screaming at us. He said, look, when they were 13 years old, 14 years old, they made Sima Shas. So I said, how do you expect us to make Sima Shas when we only learn 4 or 5 daf a year? He did not like it. So Maisa Shoya in Slobodka, they had a thing. I don't know if you remember, like the Israeli Bachram, unfortunately, till this very day, they smoke and the vape. So back then, there was a shtick that if you found a cigarette that had a little bit of a little damage to it, you send it back to the company and they give you like a free carton of cigarettes. So the shtick, you have to look through all the cigarettes, find, you see a Bachar looking through. What was the name of that Israeli time, whatever. So one day, this carton of cigarettes comes to the yeshiva, and the Mashgiach Slobodka, Moshe, he sees this card. He says, "What's this?" So they told him that if you find a damaged cigarette, so he says, "Who's the bacher?" He says, "This guy." He says, he calls him in. He says, "Listen, I'm throwing you out of yeshiva." So they throw him out of yeshiva. He says, "Yeah, maybe if I throw you out, you're like a shtickle damaged bacher. I'll get a whole bunch of good bacher men." Omarova, Reisha Mekachtos. Seifa Lav Mekachtos. What are you talking about? Check this out. I mean, again, we're talking about the Reisha and the Seifa. It's the same thing. It's the same case. The one he gave the money already to the guy, and he took the silver and the getchka, and the one he didn't get. But it's the same Mekachtos, whether he gave the money or not. Of course, they're both Mekachtos. No, this is just a Marasayan kind of thing. When you don't give the money, so it doesn't look like Avodah Zarah. Say, but the No, it's just a question of Marasayan, what it looks to other people. When there's money involved, you gave the money already. So even though it's a Mekachtos, it looks like you're doing a deal with Avodah Zarah. If you never paid for it, and then there's Avodah Zarah, people understand that it was just a mistake. It looks like what?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it looks like you're selling the guy. It looks like you're selling the guy back Avodah Zarah because there's a money transfer.
Doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter.
No, even though there's a mekachtos, it doesn't matter because it looks bad.
That's it.
Again, let's just jump back there for a second. What does Rav Ashi say? That a guy does not acquire b'mashicha. Toshma. From our Mishnah, it says in our Mishnah that when you sell wine to a guy, if there's a sign that says 3 shekel per liter, then you're allowed to use the money. But if Mashiach doesn't work, am I dam mutar? How could the money be good? It became yain nesach before he made a kinyan. If Mashiach doesn't work, so the second he touched it, it became yain nesach. You're right. It must be talking about that he gave him money before the whole thing started. He said, "Listen, here's $100. Give me wine, and then we'll figure out if I get some change or not." So again, if there's money in advance, he advanced the money. So then, how do you explain the next part? If there's no price, then you can't use the money. Why not? He gave the money beforehand. There's a kinyan already. Who cares if he knew the price or not? So the answer is, let me just say the answer about Peh. The answer is, if you knew how much money it is, then you goymer das. Then you agree to make the kinyan in your mind. Then the kinyan works. If you don't know how much money it is, even though you advanced money, you didn't agree to make the kinyan. You need gemiras das, and he proves it. And if he gave him the money in advance, why is the money also? Let me ask you a question, and based on the answer to that, you'll understand me. According to you, there you say the Mashiach by guy works. Am I reisha dam of mutarim v'seva dam of asurim? Why is the money also? He's talking about the last part. Why is the money also if he made Mashiach? If you know how much it is, you're in your mind. The smicha. How do you say smicha das in English? You're agreeable. The kinyan works. Whatever. There must be reliance. Not a bad word. Okay, there's reliance. For the lack of a better word, we'll use it. Reliance. There's a reliance here. Okay, now here one last geschmacka raya. Oh, sorry, Ledinami. So by me also the pshat will be Avagav the Kanle dinner, even though he gave him $100 in advance. Pasuk someone died. If he knew how much the price of the wine is, he has reliance. Like Pasuk someone died. But if he doesn't know the price, there's no reliance. We know that if a Ben Noach steals less than 1 pruta, he's chayiv misa for that. And he can't give it back. Why? Because, as we can see, the Jew is moichel less than so there's nothing to give back. How could a guy be koina the gneva, which I don't understand so well? So you look in Tosfos and he talks about it. The Torah says that a guy shouldn't do that. He shouldn't steal. So the Torah knows what it's talking about. Whether there's a kinyan or not a kinyan doesn't matter. Don't do that.
No, he didn't steal.
That is stealing.
No.
So, but the Torah says don't steal. A Ben Noach can't steal. So what is the Torah talking about? Tell me what the Torah is talking about.
Different type of kinyan.
Like what?
A kinyan that works for a guy.
Like what? He bought it with kesef.
Maybe somehow he got it into his house.
No, Tosfos doesn't answer that. It says Gemara Mishum the Tzar Yisrael. You know why he dies? Not because of the Mashiach, not because he shepherded a Jew. We also can't shepherd a Jew. Fire, says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz. Be'ol chaves fire. And what does it mean? He can't return it. Then the Torah says shavan. He was moichel it, and that's why he can't give it back. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.